Hi, Nima. It's Thursday, March 22nd, 2012, and you are watching The Four of Us.
Sorry about the mess.
Why don't you pound snow, doll?
Gotta keep a low profile.
They'll be watching The Four of Us.
You didn't want PI, you want some pastry to pin it on.
Today I would like to discuss the awkward stare. I'm pretty sure everyone watching is familiar with the awkward stare, but for those of you who are not, allow me to briefly describe it. Do you know the awkward stare, the awkward stare, the awkward stare? Do you know the awkward stare? It happens in most classrooms. The awkward stare most commonly occurs in classrooms that are set up in a round table formation, under which circumstances you are sitting across from approximately 3 people. This setup makes the awkward stare completely unavoidable. You can't help it. You get tired of staring at the blackboard like this, and you just look straight ahead and accidentally make unconsensual eye contact with someone across from you. As I'm sure most of you know, there are about 3 circumstances in which it is acceptable for you to stare at someone. The lighting just got dramatically better because I realized how to open my blinds all the way. Circumstance number 1 in which it is acceptable to stare at someone is if that person is talking. I mean, obviously, talking is basically giving everyone in the room permission to stare at you. That's why I don't answer questions in class. Yo, I don't want people staring at me. Back off. Circumstance number 2 is if that person just spilled a huge iced coffee all over the desk. In which case, the apologetic stare is appropriate as they run to get paper towels. And circumstance number 3 is if that person shifts in their seat and their chair makes an awkward farting sound. In which case you're actually doing them a favor to stare at them, because it's kind of like saying, yo, I know you didn't just pass gas. It's just your chair drawing attention to you. Lol. But sometimes none of these 3 things happen and you still find yourself staring at the person across from you. In which case there are only a handful of ways you can respond to diffuse the awkwardness. Now, there are very few things that you can do when you're caught in the act of gawking at someone, but I will advise you against your one most innate response, which is to suddenly abort the stare. Aborting an awkward stare is basically admitting that you were just awkwardly staring at someone. If you do that, they're gonna know that you were just awkwardly staring at them. I know it's like your initial reaction, but just avoid it at all costs. To replace the awkward abort, there are like 2 tactics you can try. Tactic number 1 is the most common. Someone catches you staring at them, just give them an awkward little smile, you know, like... That one speaks for itself. It's just kind of a way of saying, here we are in class, and we just had an awkwardly intimate moment. Tactic number 2 that I'm going to share with you is a little bit more difficult to pull off. You kind of have to know that whoever you're sitting across from will be able to respond appropriately. Otherwise, the moment just gets more awkward and they walk away thinking you're just a freak as opposed to just an awkward staring stalker. Now, this tactic works pretty well with theater kids because they're all pretty crazy and used to making weird faces all the time. But be careful if you're in like a math or science class and you try to pull this one off. This one could be referred to as the awkward weird face. Someone looks up, catches you staring at them, make a cute little weird face. Some of my favorites are... They're all equally appropriate. If you're awkwardly staring at the right person, they'll understand. The best response you get is the reciprocation of the awkward weird face. If they respond with an awkward smile, or worse, abort the awkward stare, you might want to try and sit across from someone else next class. And never try to get their number after that. It's just not going to go over well. They're probably just going to give you an awkward smile. For Benny and the Professor, I thought this would be an informative little college tip. I hope you appreciated it. Okay, bye Sarah, bye Lily. B, I will see you on Tuesday.